Welcome to our third episode of the Back to Basics Health with Coach BT podcast. I'm your host, Coach BT, and now let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about creating an action plan to improve our health. Before we get started, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Fitzhugh Dodson, an American clinical psychologist, once said that without goals and plans to reach them, you are like a ship that has set sail with no destination. Let's do a quick recap. We started off in episode 1 talking about taking an assessment of our health. In episode 2, we talked about how to actually assess our health assessment. And now in episode 3, it's actually time to create our action plan and make the decision to start. The gold standard in goal setting is something called SMART goals. The S is for specific. The M is for measurable. The A is for attainable. The R is for relevant. And the T is for time bound. Let's look at a case study to help us understand SMART goals a little better. Joan wants to lose weight and has created a SMART goal. Starting with the S for specific. Joan wants to lose weight, but how much weight does she want to lose? Joan actually wants to lose 50 pounds. The M is for measurable. Joan's weight loss goal of 50 pounds is both specific and measurable. The A is for attainable. 50 pounds appears to be attainable as it will place her within the normal weight range according to her BMI or body mass index. The R is for relevant. Joan's weight loss goal is relevant because Joan is pre-diabetic, and our doctor has advised that losing 50 pounds will help her to decrease her risk of developing type 2 diabetes and also allow her not to be on subsequent medications. The T is for time-bound. Joan makes her goal time-bound by giving herself a year to complete the goal. This averages out to being about a pound a week of weight loss per week over 50 weeks. Now it's time for you to try. First, write down your health goal. Take the time to pause this video if you like and do it in real time. Next, go through your SMART goals checklist to make sure your goals cover each SMART letter. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Now that you've created a SMART goal, it's time for you to make the commitment to start. This is a very important part of the plan. Many people set goals, but fewer people commit to the goal and make the decision to take action. Committing is like coming to a fork in the road and making the decision to move forward one way or the other. If you're not ready to commit, own your decision, but also address the reasons for not being ready. Next, create an action plan. Your action plan should consist of your big goal, your SMART goal, and your small goals, which is your plan for achieving your big goal. Going back to our case study with Joan, Joan's big goal, her SMART goal, is to lose 50 pounds within 1 year at a pace of losing an average of 1 pound per week. What are the small goals that will help this big goal become possible? Joan has broken her action plan down into subgroups: diet, physical activity, sleep, and stress management. Let's look at diet. For diet, Joan has decided to start with time-restricted eating at least 6 days per week. Time-restricted eating is a form of intermittent fasting where nighttime eating is discouraged and an 8 to 12 hour eating window is encouraged for 3 healthy meals per day. Joan's eating window will be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Next, let's look at physical activity. Joan has decided to fill her calendar with physical activity at least 5 days per week, plus occasional bonus activity. Joan has joined a small boutique gym that has muscle strengthening and cardio building classes that she enjoys 3 days a week. She also has picked up pickleball, which she plays 2 days a week and sometimes more when she participates in tournaments. Joan has also found a few walking partners at work. They walk every day after lunch for at least 15 minutes. Let's look at sleep. Joan has decided to create an evening routine that helps her to improve her sleep and her sleep hygiene. Joan's evening wind down starts at 7 p.m. She turns down all the lights in her home. She then plays peaceful, calming music and sets an automatic timer for it to turn off in a few hours. She also takes her shower and slips into comfortable nightwear. She reads and/or journals for about 30 minutes and goes to bed by 9 p.m. Let's look at stress management. Joan's diet, physical activity, and sleep hygiene have dramatically helped her to improve her stress management. Joan, however, has taken additional steps to help her manage her stress. These additional measures include seeing her psychologist once a month, journaling at least 2 days per week, and limiting her time on social media and watching the news, which tend to be big triggers for her stress and anxiety. Joan, who is an introvert, also works to plan at least 2 fun outings outside the home each month, which she does with her friends or by herself. Getting back to you, moving forward. Assuming you're ready to move forward with your goals and action plan, I want you to tell a trusted person your goals and plans. This person will be your official or unofficial accountability partner. This should be someone who is genuinely supportive of you and your goals. This should also be someone who is a good listener and will shoot straight with you and help you to problem solve. Your accountability partner can be a spouse, friend, coach, trainer, counselor, or even a support group. Let's look at barriers and roadblocks. After you've set your goals and created your action plan, it's now time to identify barriers and roadblocks to you reaching your goals. Joan has identified several roadblocks and barriers to reaching her goals, but she has also created action plans for dealing with those challenges. Joan's most predictable obstacle is that her work schedule is very busy at least 2 weeks every quarter. During this time, Joan has decided to give herself a little more grace for missing her workouts. She also works extra hard to maintain her 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. eating window. Joan also works hard to do more weekend workouts during this time of the quarter as well. Another predictable challenge is looking after her 95-year-old grandmother. Joan's grandmother lives close by, and Joan frequently pops in to check in on her. Joan has arranged a core group of caretakers, and if something happens while Joan is in workout class, there are several people on deck ready to step in to help. Dealing with these challenges sometimes throws Joan off her game, but Joan takes a deep breath, gives herself grace, sometimes reaches out to her accountability partner, makes adjustments to her action plan, and hops right back on the wagon ASAP. Back to you. Now that you've developed your action plan, identified your barriers and roadblocks, found an accountability partner, and have made the decision to take action, it's game on. While you're on this journey, you will need to educate yourself to learn more about all the elements of your action plan. This education process will help keep you locked in on your goals, and it's an important part of the transformation process. In order to reach your goals, you will have to become a different person, an upgraded person, an improved person. That is what your goals and your journey require. It requires change. And on that note, this is a great place to land this plane for today. Check out this episode's show notes for a free downloadable action plan template to help you with your planning. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Until next time, let's get back to basics. This is Coach BT. We're out.